clean, eating plant-based, and you're not losing fat, I'm going to talk about a couple reasons why that may be, especially after menopause. If your body has stopped responding the way it used to, it's not that you're doing something wrong, your physiology has changed. For one, you have decreased muscle mass and your body fat increases. Starting in perimenopause, your muscles, your liver, your fat cells slow the insulin process, which sends your pancreas into overdrive. You're going to notice things like increased belly fat, and it's very stubborn. Another reason is your sleep pattern has changed. You're getting sleep deprived, and this has been linked to insulin resistance and obesity. It's very important to have adequate protein in your diet and that you are building muscle. It takes more energy to move around muscle than it does fat. So the more muscle you have on your body, the more efficient you are at burning fat. I've been a nurse for almost 20 years, and I have noticed the change not only in my own body, but in the bodies of my patients. And there are things that you can do to help remedy this. Of course, make sure you're eating enough protein, make sure you are strength training, and make sure that you've talked to your doctor and perhaps you need hormone replacement. It's not for everyone, but it's definitely worth a conversation. I started when I was in perimenopause. I was in nursing school and I just could not function like I used to. I had brain fog, I was gaining belly fat, and I thought I was eating clean, but I definitely was not eating enough protein and I wasn't strength training. And now there is science that backs this theory up, that yes, you do need adequate protein, you do need to strength train to help build that muscle. So today I'm going to show you a recipe that I like to make. It's kind of a chipotle sofrita copycat, but not exactly. It's my own version, but high in protein, and it is fairly low in calories, and it's a great way to get that protein in and have a nice hearty meal and not feel like you are depriving yourself, because that never works. I'm going to show you how to make a different grain today. I've been experimenting with different grains, and I'm going to show you how to make some sorghum in your Instant Pot. It's a gluten-free grain. It's from India. It's been around forever. It's like 5000 BC, so a long time. And it's really tasty. It's got a nutty flavor, and it's a nice little change from plain old rice. Yeah, so let's get going. Add in 1 cup of rinsed sorghum, water. Now you could add some salt, you could add some bouillon cube, whatever you'd like, but I'm just going to leave it plain for right now. Then we have the lid on, make sure it is on sealing. Then we're just going to hit the multi-grain button for 20 minutes. So when the pin is down, then it's safe to open up your Instant Pot. So for the sofrita, we're going to rough chop some veggies here, and then it's all going to go into a blender. And I've got my blender here. So I'm starting with some bell peppers. And then we're just going to rough chop this tomato. I need a couple tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm a little crazy on that one. I'm eyeballing it, but you can do better than that. We're going to do some cumin, dried oregano, some salt, some garlic. We're also going to rough chop some onion. We're going to add some red wine vinegar. So I added the red wine vinegar, half a cup of water, and then you really want to make sure you do this. This is chipotle peppers in adobo sauce. You're going to need 1 of these peppers and about a tablespoon of the sauce. If you want it spicier, then you're going to add more. So we're going to pull out 1 of those peppers, get about a tablespoon of that sauce, and that's going to give it some nice heat. I'm gonna blend this up, then I'm gonna set it aside, and then I'm gonna work on the next component of the recipe. Now you want about 400 grams or 14 ounces of super firm tofu. That's the best one to get. If you can't find the super firm, then you're gonna wanna press it because we want the least amount of moisture as possible. It's gonna really give it that kind of meaty kind of flavor or texture. So we're gonna crumble this up fairly small. And we're just going to do the whole block here. This was actually a 16 ounce and I just measured out 400 grams. All right, so I'm going to continue doing this and then I'm going to take you over to the stove and I'm going to show you how we're going to finish it up. And it's pretty easy. So I have a non-stick pan here on medium heat. We want it to get nice and hot before we add the tofu. We want this to be really crispy. I did wipe a little bit of avocado oil on the pan because I really want this to be super crispy. I don't normally ever use oil, but in this particular recipe, a little bit of oil is not gonna kill you, and it really does make a difference. So once this gets nice and hot, I'm gonna throw one in to see. Ooh, that sounds good. All right, so we're gonna just put all the tofu in here. And what I like to do is get it pretty much in a good layer here, even layer. And then I just leave it undisturbed so that side gets crispy. Then I'll turn it and do the same thing a couple of times. Okay, we're getting some good color on here. We're gonna let this go another couple minutes. I'm gonna remove this from the pan and then I'm gonna cook the sauce for a couple of minutes. And then we'll put the tofu back in. So just a couple minutes on medium heat. All right, let's put the tofu back in. And we're gonna let this cook for about 5 minutes so the tofu can absorb all that delicious flavor. And then you can also break it up a little bit more as it cooks. All right, we'll just let this go. Here we go, finished product. I topped it with a little bit of avocado. I've got my sorghum here, which I think is a great alternative to rice. You know, sorghum's got twice as much protein as quinoa, so it's a really good alternative. And of course, I put some veggies on the side. I've got some red cabbage and some romaine lettuce. You could top this with whatever you want. If you want to put salsa on there. But I just like to kind of mix it all together. But I want to take a bite of this sofrita-like stuff with a little bit of the sorghum. It's so good. And really very easy. I know it had a few more ingredients that I normally do in my recipes, but still pretty simple. And if you want to make it hotter, just add some more of that adobo sauce in there, and that'll do the trick. Now these are the kind of meals that I ate to lose the fat, lose this belly fat. They're low calorie, they're high protein, they've got lots of fiber, they're filling, they're delicious. I don't feel like I'm depriving myself of anything. So I hope you give this one a try. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, and please subscribe. And if you're confused on how to start or what to do, I do have a free 7-day reset that is in my Facebook group, which is totally free to join. So if you join that, you'll find the 7-day reset there, and it's in the Files tab. And if you want more, I have a 14-day reset, and the link is down below. I also have a cookbook, so I have a lot of resources for you. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. I'm happy to answer all your questions. And remember, all my recipes are good for you, they're good for the animals, and they're good for the planet. And what you put on your plate determines your fate. Until next time, thank you.